Hey, good afternoon. This is Mary Lou Foster. It is Tuesday, August the 16th, and I am a day late with my Facebook Live, but my little lady who cleans my house was here yesterday, and I didn't think you wanted to hear the vacuum cleaner running in the background. So I just opted to wait today. I'm going to hop on my iPad because that way I can see comments. Hopefully see when someone joins. Hope everybody's having a great day. I stayed home today. Whoops, sorry. Did not go exercise. I had lots of things to do. I wanted to get ready for this class. Ooh, it did shake. There's a delay on my iPad, so it just now got to the shaky part. So today we're going to make a card with This Birthday Piggy. And this is a fun fold card, which means that it looks like it's missing part of it in the middle. But I'm going to show you how to make that. And I will put the cutting instructions in the description when I'm finished, and a list of the supplies that we're going to use today. So you'll have all that information. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and get started and get the card made. We can talk as I move along. So, you know I write notes whenever you come to my in-live classes. I can't watch all 5 tubs at the same time, so I've started writing notes to kind of work you step by step through the process of making the card. You know, hints like be sure and do this before you do that, or they can stop and ask me. I'm always available. It's hard to watch everybody and make sure that, you know, sometimes you can get too far in assembling a card and it's difficult to start over. This is kind of one of those cards. I didn't make mine exactly right. Gasp. I kind of got ahead of myself. So in the card kit, I always package them in an envelope like this with the designer series paper and the cardstock cut and ready for you most of the time. Sometimes you get to do your own die cutting. This one does not involve die cutting. So the things that are different about this card, it is cut at 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. But you're going to cut off, and I meant to measure it and I didn't. You're cutting off, how about if I just get my ruler, it'll be easier. Three and a half inches. 1, 2, 3.5 inches. But you're not going to waste it because you're going to use this little part down here at the bottom. And this little part is 2 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So that's where I messed up on this one. I didn't give myself the cardstock. I just used the designer series paper. So this part in the middle, or the extra part, 1.5 inches, yeah, is just some extra cardstock for you. So I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder so that this card will lay flat because it's kind of bugging me, flopping around. Then you have a designer series paper that you have cut. And I did not put those instructions here by me, but I believe it's 1 3/4 by 4 inches. You cut 2 of those because the other one is going to go down on this piece of cardstock. So let's go ahead and get that adhered. I think I'm working right under you today. Oh, run a little Stampin' Seal. Center that on the cardstock. And let's go ahead and do this top one, so we can get that much done before we have to work on our center panel, because you can see it's stamped with the piggy and there's lots of coloring. This little stamp set is lots of line art. So in your kit you had 2 pieces of basic white cardstock. One of them is going to become the center, and you just kind of had to size it up. And that was one of the things I cautioned them, is like, make sure you pick the right one, and we're going to hide it underneath this front panel. So I stick that in there. And I used some of the glimmer paper. This is the new In Color glimmer paper, and you can see it's kind of ombre. It's darker on one end than it is on the other. That we'll layer that on. I'm not going to layer it on right at this moment, because I'm going to go ahead and do my stamping. The birthday pig with the birthday cake and the balloon. You know, you think that this is really a kid card, but I think an adult would get really a kick out of it. And you might have to be selective about your friend that you send it to, but you know your friends and their personalities and their sense of humor. So I'm just stamping that in Memento, because we're going to use the stamping blends to color it. Let it dry for just a second. Throw my block in my tub. The sentiment is stamped in our new Tahitian Tide. This is a color I keep forgetting about. It's a pretty blue. We have Bermuda Bay and Pool Party and Balmy Blue and, well, Mint Macaron is a green, but if I can hide that up. Our sentiment says, this little piggy says, happy birthday. Oh, and see, I didn't get my Y. Well, I'm going to leave it like that. I'll redo it later. I'm pretty sure I had it inked up well. I just didn't stamp it very equally. So we got a Y missing, part of a G. Oh, Y. Lay this over so you can kind of see the colors that I used. I'm going to start with the balloon. This is a light parakeet party. And I'll just give it a... You don't have to press hard with these. It actually damages the tip if you press it too hard. And I'm going to use the darker parakeet party to give it a little dimension there. The cake is light polished pink. And I'm going to do it the light color. I always, goodness, getting them apart sometimes. I always do the light color first. Lots of demonstrators do the dark color first. I'm not real good with shading. I think that's why I start with the light. And on my sample card, I didn't even use any of the dark, but on this one, I'll use the dark on this frosting detail. My mother used to make cakes. I would sit and watch her. It was fascinating. And then the candle, I believe it's dark daffodil. I'm going to use the little nub end, because these are very small areas. The plate that the cake is sitting on is light Pool Party. Once again, I'm going to use the nub, because it's not a big area. And now to color the pig, you have many options. Now that we have the new blends that are like the skin tones, you could pull those out and this pig could just go crazy. I'm just going to use light papaya. My pig is just kind of pink. Excuse me. And my pig has had a bath because it's a birthday party and she couldn't go dirty. So she's nice and clean. I'm kind of holding it on its side just a little bit. That way I can cover more area. And I'm not worried about doing it solidly. So I'm going to put a little detail inside the ear with the dark. It's supposed to be dark pale papaya, but you know what? That puppy's dried out. Now I wonder how that happened. Let's see if this end is wet. It's kind of wet. That's interesting. I think you can reactivate them with alcohol because they are alcohol based. I think y'all know that's why I like them. And my little pig has some hoof details. I used light soft suede just to add some detail and not let it be so. And I forgot the crumb cake. She is sitting in dirt even though she's nice and clean. If you've ever seen a pigsty, they're not nice and clean. They love to lay in the mud. No one even asked for that. So that's pretty fast. I've got my little piggy colored, and I'm gonna adhere my little piggy who is saying happy birthday to the glimmer paper. Now this is where the fun comes in. Not going to worry about the inside white part. I'm going to make sure I have lined up this bottom piece. And I'm going to hold it in place. And then kind of picture where I'm going to put this. And what I told my ladies to do is to put your adhesive along the flaps. And not try to put it on the back of that panel. Because if you put it on the back of that panel and you get it here in the middle, that part's going to stick and you're not going to be happy because it is stuck and it won't open and close. So I'm just kind of eyeing up to make sure it's straight. And then I've got my little piece of cardstock. And because that's where I put my adhesive, I don't have any sticky going on here in the middle. And it's stuck nicely. And it's very similar now to how you're going to, most importantly, you want it to hide side to side. It doesn't really matter top to bottom too much. So I'm going to put my adhesive on the back of the white piece. And kind of lay it where I think it's going to go, but I'm not going to push it down just yet. And there's probably a way better way to do this, and I just don't know what it is. This is the Mary Lou way. How about that? It worked. I just kind of laid it in the center of this panel. And on the inside, we use the balloon off of this stamp. And we only inked up just that balloon. And you can do that one of two ways. You can use Stampin' Up marker, because remember, blends don't color on our stamps. And you'll just color the balloon. Make sure that you've cleaned the stamp really good after you stamped on the front. Shouldn't matter because you're still using black, but that's a good habit to form. I use the brush in on the side, and I know that I colored it all the way down to the snout of that pig. See, I didn't have it real clean, so I've ended up with some pig marks. Let me put some more spray on there. That's why sometimes I like kind of making the mess ups on my videos, because then you can see what it is I'm talking about. That pig was not cleaned very well, and so I've ended up with pig. What I can do is ink that stamp back up and very carefully try to line it up. I'm not very good with that. And then our sentiment on the inside is hope it's the best. Go ahead and stamp that, and then I'll color the because you've wished them the happy birthday on the front. This little piggy says happy birthday. Hope it's the best. So let's go back to the front. I have some embellishments, the fun flower rosin shapes that we use to embellish, add some sparkle. They're shiny because they're rosin, which is kind of a plasticky component. And since the balloon is the parakeet party, we can use that. I do think I'm going to use one of the starry sky, but I'm going to put it on this side because I'm going to try to fix that piggy thing. And let's put a big flower here and a little one here. Like I said, that just adds a little sparkle. Let's color our balloon. On the inside, the balloon is going to be light polished pink. I don't have to worry about that bleeding through to the back of the card. Remember, if you're coloring on your envelope, you have to be careful. So that is how you make that fun fold card. You cut off that 3.5 inches off the length, off the 11-inch length, and then you'll take 2 inches of it for the bottom of the panel. And I believe, if I remember right, that's 2.5 by 4. That's the glimmer panel. Like I said, I will put those cutting instructions in the description. So that is the 4th card that we made in card class week before last now. Now let me talk about my next card class. I've been sending emails. It was scheduled for August the 25th, which is a week from Thursday, but I had to change the date yesterday, and now it's going to be Wednesday, August the 24th. Just back it up a day at 1:30. I'm only advertising 1:30. I can do 5:30, but you're going to have to let me know if that's a better time for you. Otherwise, 1:30 is the offering. This class is $20. You'll make 5 cards. They are all occasion. I don't have the list of what the occasions are. I believe I've snuck one Christmas card in. Maybe. Fingers crossed. My first Christmas card class is September the 8th. Information will go out about that this week, later this week. That's going to be a gorgeous class. You're going to want to watch for that. I think we've talked about Celebration. They did add some more items to what you can choose. You should have the little brochure that has the original offerings. 2 of them aren't available. The tree dies, tree lot dies, I think is what it's called. And the pool party soft sea foam cards and bases. What was that one called? Yeah, tree lot dies. That one is not available. They sold out. These items are while supplies last. And that's how these are also. So you have your offerings for $50, your order of $50 or more, and items of $100 or more. So you might want to keep an eye on that. You can get my card class for free with a $25 or more order. And sometimes I don't mind combining, like if you place a $50 order to get a Celebration item, I'll let you come to card class free. I'll make a deal with you. That's kind of double dipping, but that's okay. It'll work. So thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this card. It was a very easy card, actually, very easy. You may be saying, yeah, but she sure did mess that up. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.